I knew I was going to have a good report about the Walker Hotel when I heard about Mr. Jacob Stark. He was supposed to have more information about the hotel than anybody. The hotel was really something. It made you feel like you were back in the old days. Even the menu looked like the ones they used a long time ago.
Come in.
Mr. Stark?
You must be Leora. The Historical Society told me that you'd be visiting today.
Yes, sir. I'm doing a report for my class on the Walker Hotel.
Well, you came to the right place. I know so much about this hotel as in one round. When I was a little boy, I lived right across the street there.
Is that right?
That's the way the old hotel looked in those days. We had a lot of fine guests through here. Mark Twain stayed here once.
Did you meet Mark Twain?
No, but my daddy did.
Is that your father?
It sure is.
He really must have been something back in those days.
He sure was. Are you going to write about him in your report?
Probably. I'm going to write all about the hotel's history.
I'd like to read your report when you finish.
Really?
I sure would. Say, I have an idea. I've been working on a new dinner menu, and I think it would be nice to have the history of the hotel on the back.
You mean you would print my report?
If it's good, have a seat there. Now, what can I tell you?
Well, I know there was a fire. Wait, do you mind if I record this?
Go right ahead.
What were you doing the night of the fire?
Well, I was helping my daddy work on an old car, old Model T car that night. My father saved 19 lives that night.
You must be very proud of him.
I am.
So, when did you start working here at the hotel?
I started working here just a few years after they rebuilt it. I've worked here ever since. The old Walker Hotel really means a lot to me.
I added Mr. Stark's interview to the articles about the hotel that I'd copied at the newspaper office, and the other stuff I'd gathered. I was ready to start writing my report. Well, I have it started. Let's see how it sounds. Mr. Stark is the manager now. The fire almost burned the whole hotel down. The hotel became famous. The hotel really means a lot to Mr. Stark. It was built in 1898. Mark Twain stayed there. His father saved 19 people. Well, Leah, how does that sound? It sounds jumpy. Paula, where did you come from? If you weren't my best pal, what do you mean by jumpy? It sounds jumpy, my dear. Look, it's like you're bouncing around from one thing to another. You have everything all mixed up. History, Mr. Stark, the fire. Makes it hard to follow, huh? And boring. You need to put all the same type of information together. Arrange it better? That's it. Here's a newspaper article. Last night, a fire destroyed the Walker Hotel. Then it tells about the fire. Here's another article. Jacob Stark saved 19 lives when the Walker Hotel burned down last night. Here's another article about the fire. I think these all go together because they're all about Night of Fire. Here's an article. The Walker Hotel was built in 1898 and was the largest building in the area. It also had the first automatic elevator in the city. Does this belong here? No, I didn't think so. Here's an article about Josiah Walker, the man who built the hotel. It tells how he earned enough money to have the hotel built. Doesn't belong with Night of Fire either. No. Hey, wait. I read this. This tells all about how the hotel looked before the fire. I have an idea. Maybe these three go together. But what should we call the group? How about Before Fire? That should do it.
Daddy was working on an old Model T car that night. All of a sudden, I looked up and saw flames on the second floor. I was so scared, Daddy told me not to move, and he rushed into the hotel.
This is Night of Fire. Hey, wait a minute. You said Mr. Stark also said a lot about before the fire. So why wouldn't the tape go there? You have a point. I'll write myself a note telling me that the tape has good information about before fire. And I'll put the note here. Okay, good idea. Now how about this? Wow, we're almost through sorting. You're almost through sorting. I have to go. My stomach just sent me an emergency signal. What signal? Go home. It's time for supper. Goodbye. Bye. Thanks. See you later. Bye. Okay, I hear you. It is time for supper.
You can't rush a master chef.
That smells good. Let's eat.
Hold your horses. It has to simmer first.
But, Dad, it looks so good I can't wait.
Oh, yes, you can. And come set the table.
Me and my big mouth.
What have you been doing all afternoon?
I've been working on my report on the Walker Hotel. Do you remember the fire?
Your mother's not quite that old.
I heard the man who manages the hotel now saw the fire.
Uh-huh. His name is Mr. Stark, Jacob Stark, to be exact, and his father saved 19 lives that night.
Sounds like you found a lot of good information.
I did. Paula and I spent the whole afternoon sorting it all out.
I've never seen you so enthusiastic about a school report.
Well, Mr. Stark said he might print my report on the hotel menu.
Then it had better be good.
It will be.
You aren't that old, are you?
Okay. I'm ready to start writing. I have my information grouped into 3 parts. Before fire, night of fire, after fire. I'll start my report with before the fire, since that came first. There. At least I've started my report. I think I'll call Paula and read it to her before I write any more. The Walker Hotel was built by Josiah Walker in 1898. Mark Twain stayed there in 1902. Josiah Walker made the money to build the hotel by panning gold in Alaska in 1893. Well?
Well, what?
Well, what do you think?
Do you really want to know? It still sounds sort of mixed up.
Why? It's all about before the fire.
I know that, but it's still mixed up.
I don't understand. Maybe I should put everything about Josiah Walker together. But that would be just about everything. That's no help. Maybe put everything about famous guests together. But I don't have very many articles about that. Maybe by dates. Lots of stories are written that way, putting what happened first. I'll do it by dates. That should help me organize the first part better. Maybe I can do something like this for the other two parts. Wait a minute. This sort of looks like an outline. I bet I could write my report better with an outline. Now that the outline is finished, I'm ready to start writing my report. Began at the beginning. When Josiah Walker struck gold in Alaska in 1893, his dream was to buy a boat and sail it to Hawaii. And today, the Walker Hotel is still the finest hotel in the area.
My daughter, the writer.
Lear, your teacher sure did like your report, and I used it for the menu because it was so good. Tell us how you did it.
Well, after I got all my information together, I went home and started writing. But that didn't work. Then I got some help from a friend. Paula and I figured out that we had to do something with my information, and then we had an idea.